Hi, it's Ryan from Fowler Photography, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts and a quick review of the Time-Lapse Plus Studio Lightroom plugin. So let's get into it. So a few weeks ago, Time-Lapse Plus got in touch and asked if I would like to use the software, trial it, and see how it would work into a time-lapse photographer's workflow. So with a few questions out of the way, and I will share that with you in a minute, I downloaded the software, gave it a try, and actually found it a really beneficial thing for my workflow. A very small piece of software that's not designed to be complicated, but it's designed to really help you in speeding up a time-lapse workflow, which, if you're probably watching this video, you would most likely be having some kind of workflow issue in terms of speed, sorting, collection, that kind of thing. So I found that really beneficial. Before we go on, I will mention at the end of this video, there is a code for 10% off at checkout for Time-Lapse Plus Studio. So keep watching till the end to get that code. So before I actually started using this program, before I sort of gave the okay that yes, I would like to try the program and do a review for you, the viewer on YouTube, the questions I asked were, one, how does this work with LR time-lapse? Is it a replacement? What's the idea behind it? And two, I wanted to give an honest review. I wanted to make sure that that was a very truthful point and that it was truthful for you guys. So the answer to the first question is it's not a replacement for LR time-lapse. There is a little bit on their website that says what it sort of does, but actually using it, you can really tell the differences between the two. So this is not a replacement for LR time-lapse, which I have been using for a long time and very, very happy with the program. But this does help speed up the workflow immensely and sort of sets all the groundwork to literally just export into LR time-lapse. So it's a really, really good little piece of software. Second question is, they were perfectly fine for me to give an honest review, and obviously that means they're confident in their product, so I was happy to actually try it and see how it goes. The way that it works is you can import your time-lapse footage into basically your one date folder, however you want to organize your Lightroom catalog. What it will do then is organize your time lapses into their individual things in a very automated process. So you could have a few time lapses in a single folder, hit the create collection option, or the option that they call it, and that will then organize your, say for example, 3 time lapses into 3 separate collections. So it saves you going through shooting, trying to find every image from a particular time-lapse, especially if you've been shooting multiple cameras. And this time-lapse I've got up on the screen, I'm not going to be showing you the whole editing process. They've got a very good video for that. It's really good to separate your images really, really quickly so you don't have to spend 10 minutes going through all your photos just trying to sort them into their specific collections. So that's one really good benefit. Once it's in those collections, it then creates its own keyframe. So it will do it for regular time lapses, and it will also do it for day to night time lapses, which is really good. I was never really a fan of the whole save the XMP data and sort of shifting between programs. It worked, definitely. There's nothing wrong with LR time-lapse if you're doing it that way. This way just speeds up the process. So it creates the keyframes, and then it will just bring up your keyframes as you would be used to with LR time-lapse, for example. Once you've got those keyframes, this will then allow you to edit each one. So for example, if you've got 8 keyframes like I did with this time-lapse, it started with 1, edit the first, and then keep going through, just hitting previous and adjusting the adjustments. Kind of makes sense as what you do with adjustments. But then I went through, edited them, so they all looked relatively similar. They weren't perfectly the same, but that's the whole point of this trial. It wasn't to be exactly the same, it was to do its job and see how well it did its job. So once that was done, the next option is to actually blend those keyframes with the rest of the images. And it works really, really well. It's saved probably a good 5 minutes or so in the whole process, 5 to 10 minutes in the whole process, which is really handy, and the more time lapses you've got, the more time it'll save you. From there, I then actually took those images and exported them through LR Time-Lapse to create the final video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlay a clip of the original unedited time-lapse. I was trying to sort of overexpose, underexpose a little bit. It was just a test time-lapse for the purpose of this review, and it is certainly not meant to be anything special or spectacular. It's literally designed just for this review. So I'll show the unedited one, and now that that's playing, you can see the flicker going through and just what you'd expect from a general day to night time lapse. The second clip I'm about to play is the edited version. This has been completely edited through LR Time-Lapse and Lightroom, and shooting on the Fuji X-T2, so that's where the raw files are from. And with that, you can see that it's a pretty clear and clean blend. The whole sort of motion moves through really well, and it was pretty simple to grasp in sort of the initial simple steps. So in my perspective, from a time-lapse photographer, a workflow perspective, it's definitely a really good piece of software. It's simplified a whole lot of the process, which makes photography, being a full-time photographer, working with time-lapse as well as a variety of other aspects in photography, it's just a great way to speed up that workflow. I know that for me, post-processing is not my favorite thing to do. I'd rather be out there shooting. So being able to speed up that process in such a simple program in an easy way has just, yeah, it's something I didn't really think I would be able to work as quickly with, but very pleasantly surprised, and certainly something I would recommend if you are looking for a more effective way and definitely an easier way to process your time-lapse footage. So, as promised, the 10% discount code is on your screen here somewhere. Hit the link in the description down below. That's going to take you to the Time-Lapse Plus website, where you can use this discount code and get 10% off your purchase for the Studio Lightroom plugin. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.